Hey guys, we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about what luck you are going to be experiencing soon in your life. So, how are you going to be getting lucky? We're going to be getting into all of it, and today we have a selection of different paintings by Louis Aston Knight, which is a French-born American painter back in the 1800s. So, if you're interested in him, definitely search up more of his work. But you're going to basically see which of these paintings is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it, and then as soon as you make up your mind on the painting that is right for you, trusting your instincts and going with the one that is just calling you energetically into it, then as soon as you make up your mind, scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. By the way, if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of it, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted a reading all about your sexiest quality, so that is a fun, spicy 18+ reading. I also posted one all about what you're carrying with you from past lifetimes. That one is very spiritual and very deep. But there are so many readings to choose from over on Patreon, over 85 exclusive readings you'll only find over there. There are love readings, career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, relocation readings, personality readings, like I said, fun 18+ readings and tipsy readings. There's so much to choose from. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if you're interested in joining our little crew on Patreon, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and sign up today. Also, if you are interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that via my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want me to channel for you, read your astrology, pull tarot for you, whether you have some specific questions you want me to delve into, or you just want an energy check-in and to let your guides come through with whatever information they want to bring, whether you want it pre-recorded, whether you want it live, there are so many different ways to customize your reading to make it the right reading for you. If you're interested in booking a slot with me, head to my website, like I said, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thanks for watching, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Six of Pentacles, the Princess of Swords, aka the Page of Swords, Ten of Cups, the Tower reverse, the Lord, aka the Emperor, and the Ace of Pentacles. So with the Six of Pentacles leading off the reading, that's a super exciting card that could mean some kind of financial windfall, a financial gift given to you. If you're like an entrepreneur, it could be a big client that wants to spend a lot of money with you, but there could definitely be a financial exchange or a financial blessing heading your guys' way. And I am getting a download that for a lot of you guys, this may come in the form of an idea, some kind of flash of insight. It could be a creative idea. We got the Princess of Swords, the Page of Swords, and so that's a very creative and like intellectual card. That is a card that generally has a lot of energy when it comes to any mental activity. So they always have different things that they're trying and learning about and communicating and different things that they may be working on. You know, it's a very like energetic card. And I feel like for some of you guys, you may also get a burst of physical energy. You may decide that you want to like work out more or change your diet or be healthier. But I am getting for a lot of you guys, this could be like a creative project. Like it feels like you're just going to be overwhelmed and bursting at the seams with these different ideas. And a lot of these are coming from spirit. With the Ace of Pentacles, whenever we get the aces, those can be ideas that literally come straight from spirit, like that sudden download, that sudden like, oh, I should do this, I should text that person, I should work out, I should start this business. And especially with the Ace of Pentacles, it may have to do with your finances. So you may get a burst of insight as to like a business you should start or some kind of thing you should be doing differently with your career. And for a lot of you guys, this may be elevating you to a place of power with the Emperor. I also am getting a vibe that you guys in the future, this is about gaining confidence. And a lot of you guys are going to stop putting something off that it's almost like you've wanted for a really long time. Like there's something that you guys have been meaning to do, wanting to do. There's something that you guys have been maybe thinking of and putting off, or just not fully sure if like, should I go ahead with this? Is it going to work? And I almost feel like either there's a distraction coming in or your mind is going to be on other things. And that's actually going to give you the freedom to fully lean into this idea, because it's almost like you're not going to be as overthinking it. Sometimes when we have too much time in our hands, there's that old phrase like idle hands are the devil's playground. I know that's like a really crazy sounding quote, like fire and brimstone, intense quote, scary quote. But I do think there's something to be said that sometimes when we have like too much time, that's when we start ruminating. That's when we start overthinking. That's when we go back and forth about like, I don't know, should I do that? And really with the aces, it's all about going with your first instinct. It's about taking it on. It's about being bold with it. And that's another thing the Page of Swords doesn't do. It's not an overthinking energy necessarily. The pages just go for it. They have that kind of youthful, young, excited energy. So they're not going to be as in their head and going back and forth and worrying. And I feel like for some of you guys, this is just about being bold and like confident in who you are. This is about also like gaining your confidence. And I feel like for some of you guys, this could even be speaking up more in relationships and saying what you want more, like voicing your needs or mentioning what you want. Like there's some energy of you guys, like, I don't know, in the past, maybe holding yourself back or not wanting to say it or wondering, oh, should I say it? I don't know. And I almost feel like this is about you stepping into that kind of selfish energy, that bold energy, that I know what I want type of energy. And it's like in the past, if in your relationship, some of you guys have sacrificed, like maybe you've been in a situationship and the person's like, oh, I don't want to discuss exclusivity. Like, I don't know, like, let's just play things out, but you really want to be exclusive. You might be changing your energy to where in the past you would have been like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk about it either. It's fine. No, like, I'm having fun too. And yeah, we can just let things lie, but then go home and overthink and be like, oh, I really want exclusivity. And why won't he like me? And now you're just going to be that person who's like, oh no, like I want exclusive. You don't want to be exclusive? Okay, let me just grab my things. I'm going to go. Thank you so much. This was fun. I want something else. Bye. And like you're much more okay with however someone's going to react to that is like on them. So I feel like whatever this is, it's like in your relationships, I feel like you're gaining a confidence and a boldness and an uncompromising. Not that we shouldn't compromise, of course. Relationships are all about compromise. Seventh house of Libra, Libra's very like compromising, accommodating type energy. But I do feel like you're getting into an energy of, I know what I want and I know what benefits me in my life, and I'm no longer going to like be wishy-washy about it or prioritize anyone else or try to accommodate others. I feel like you're really stepping into this like boldness of yourself and your wants and your desires and you, and focusing more on yourself. And I feel like this is really going to permeate all areas of your life, like your career, your relationships, all of the above. For some of you guys, I am seeing as well maybe a move, like a physical move. I feel like it's like there's a part of you that's been dissatisfied for a while, or there's something you've been kind of like stressing about and kind of like wanting to make the change, not sure about it, going back and forth. And I really feel like your guides, angels, ancestors are really going to usher you into making this change. And it's going to be kind of like unequivocal, like undoubtable. You're not going to be able to like kind of gaslight yourself, I want to say. Maybe that's too harsh of a word, but you're not going to be able to doubt it anymore or, twist yourself into a pretzel, go back and forth and wonder about it. I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is about prioritizing and kind of putting yourself first. And there's a very joyful energy here. So I do feel like for some of you guys, this could also be a financial change, like getting a second job or a different source of income. But it feels like something you really love, maybe pivoting within your career to do something that you love, not something that you feel mid about, or you're like, oh, I could do it. It's okay. I don't know. This is about like, yeah, I want this and I love what I'm doing. And I feel like, again, this could also be just a busier schedule, like keeping yourself busier, putting yourself first, working on self-care. I feel like there's a very empowered vibe to this pile. There's a very like, I know what I want and I'm going after it, and I'm not letting anyone talk me out of it or change my opinion. I feel like for you, like you could even be getting into a lot of self-care, like pampering yourself, booking a regular massage or a facial, or working out more or eating a lot healthier. But it's almost like a version of you that existed in the past that was like afraid to fully glow up, afraid of what people would say, afraid of threatening other people. Because I think sometimes we do, like, at least I know I've done this, keep ourselves small to make other people comfortable, because maybe we have a friend that would get triggered if we were out to dinner with them and we said, you know, oh no, I'm not going to have any fries tonight, like I'm really trying to be super healthy, so you have the fries but I'm not going to have them. Like I said, I had those girls in my workplace that would always call me the salad girl, and they were so crusty about me eating salads all the time. But sometimes we're trying to do something for ourselves. We're trying to do something that feels good for our body or to nourish ourselves, and that may trigger someone and make them mad. And we start learning that and realizing that, like, the vibe changes when we say, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, or yeah, I'm really in love, I have my boyfriend, and I know we were the single girls together, but now I'm like with him and I'm so happy. That we're going to get that like weird vibe back. So we learn to just kind of sabotage things in our life. And especially this can happen within families. And I feel like if there was a version of you in the past that didn't want to fully step into your power, or were worried about, like, what will other people think? What will other people think if I really go out dressed to the nines and I have my hair done and my makeup done and I look freaking stunning and everyone is like, oh, she's gorgeous? People are going to get offended. It's going to conjure up that envy. So let me just keep myself really small. Let me not go there. Let me just show up in my whatever clothes. And I feel like now it's like you're really being very unapologetic. It's like something switched in you, and now you don't really care what they think about it. You don't really care how they're going to react. So I feel like this is permeating all areas of your life and definitely opening up new opportunities for you when it comes to your finances, but also when it comes to your personal relationships. It's like people around you can sense this change, and that you're kind of prioritizing yourself and putting yourself first. So let's get some more cards. I'm going to just clear these out of the way. Oh, and I didn't even mention, but I'll talk about it really quick, that we did get the Tower card reversed. And so that could also be you being lucky in the form of avoiding any kind of catastrophe or major change. Fertility, okay. Closure, okay. Love that. Friendship. I keep hearing that song, Britney Spears, Selfish, and I have mentioned that's one of my favorite Britney Spears songs. I always hear it in readings when, like, it's this kind of empowered energy someone's stepping into. And funnily enough, the universe has so many amazing synchronicities. That charted, and Britney Spears fans brought it to #1 because I guess Justin Timberlake released a similar titled song. Anyway, that song now went to #1, which I just love, because I seriously want everyone to listen to that song, because to me it's like very empowered energy, almost like Aries energy, which is where the sun is exalted, or any fire sign energy. And I just love that, because I think sometimes we all need that moment of being selfish. We kind of, especially in the spiritual community, there's a lot of pressure on all of us to overextend ourselves, to be so kind, to be so forgiving, to be so sweet and think of others and don't be selfish. And, you know, it's kind of like a bad word. And I feel like that song really reframes it into like, I'm going to be selfish. I'm thinking about me and I'm going to have fun. And I feel like that's the energy I'm picking up on for you guys, is like, how can I improve my life? And like in 6 months time, I could see you guys with a totally different, like even like a big friend group, going out a lot, being very sociable. I also feel like whatever this is, it's like, I almost feel like hot girl era, hot girl summer, that vibe. Also, I feel like there's something you've wanted to make a change with for a really long time. Like there's something with this fertility card, because for me, this fertility card is conjuring up how you're pregnant, and you're pregnant for 9 months and you can see that baby forming, but it's not ready to come out yet. And then the moment happens, your water breaks, and then it's like, okay, the baby's ready. And I feel like the baby's just about ready. Like we're at like 8 months and it's right about to come out, and we're ready for you to bring this new version of yourself out into the world. And it has been ready, and now it's like we're kind of here. I also feel like, again, this may have to do with like something career-wise, or a body glow up, or a physical glow up, making changes to your physical self and deciding that you want to look different, put more effort into some part of your appearance and invest in yourself in that way. And I feel like that energy radiates out to others. Like people are seeing like, oh wow, this person is yeah, this person is looking really good. And they just have it. It's not even about the physical looks, it's about the energy. Like you just feel like, oh, I'm putting effort into myself. I also could see for some of you guys this being closure when it comes to like an ex, an old, soulmate, twin flame relationship, any kind of old connection that you felt very still tied to. That might finally be severing, especially if you felt very like burdened by that, or you felt like, oh, I always think of my ex and like I think we have a soul tie and it's really annoying and I don't really want to think of him. That might be ready to fully fall off and you might be ready to get that closure. And I'm feeling like the change is really within your energy. Like you're ready to step forward and you're ready to close that door and leave it in the past. And you're really ready to move on with like no burdens. Like I feel like this is about you not being angry at anyone, not being hostile, not being resentful, but it's just like, I don't want to carry this burden anymore. I don't want to deal with this. I want to lighten my load and move on. If I can pick this up, I want to lighten my load and move on, and I want to be happy, and I don't want to hold on to things from the past that are no longer serving me. And I feel like you're going to be very like clear about that. Like you're going to, things that in the past you've gone back and forth and been like, oh, what should I do? I don't know. I'm not sure. And been very like unclear about, or been overthinking it and been kind of like twisting yourself in your head about it. I feel like now you're very like definitive and decisive, and yeah, you're very, I'm ready for this change. So I could see you guys having a really fun summer if you're watching this when the video is released. Like I'm feeling like for some of you guys it's about maybe being single, or maybe if you're in a relationship, just less overgiving, less prioritizing the other person over yourself. And I feel like for some of you guys, this could be being single, or if you've been single, but you've been thinking about an ex, or when you date, you kind of like put up with a lot and you're like, wondering like, why is the guy that I met on Hinge just being a jerk? And I wish he would text me back. Like, I feel like that's over. And now you're like the main character, you're the hot girl. You're the one who's being like, oh, I'm not going to text you back. Or you're the one who's being more prioritizing of yourself and your emotions. And of course, in relationships, compromise is important. We got the 7th house of Libra, all about compromise. But I feel like for you guys, this is really about your own journey and your own self, and finding someone that adds to your life instead of someone that takes away from it, or someone that adds stress to you. And I think you're going to be thinking about it more along those lines. I was just thinking of that today, just me personally being a tarot reader in this space. Of course, there's a lot of talk about twin flames and exes and soulmates and special persons and stuff. And I have always mentioned, I literally hate the phrases, if he wanted to, he would, or he's just not that into you, because I think it's such an oversimplification and kind of like gaslighting women a little bit, because it's like sometimes people want to do things but they don't do them. Like, that's like psychology 101. Like, hello, like there's plenty of guys that maybe want to get an A+ in school but don't study, and there's plenty of people that know they should act right in a relationship but don't. Like that just seems basic psychology to me. That's why I don't like that phrase. But I also think, I was thinking, another reason I don't like it is I think sometimes it prioritizes the other person's perspective instead of prioritizing your own reaction. Like I think we should collectively stop thinking about, oh my gosh, if he wanted to, he would, so he doesn't want to, and what does he think, and how does he feel, and what is he going through, and what's his mind at, and what is blah, 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 blah. And to just, do I feel good? Do I feel respected? Do I feel, whether he wants to or not, whether he likes me or not, whether he's that into me or he's not that into me, or he doesn't care or he does care, or he loves me or he's not in love, or he has anxiety, or blah, 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 blah. What matters is, does this person add value to my life, make me feel good, make me feel joyful, make me feel excited, make me feel respected and loved, and all those things. And of course, relationships are a give and take, but if you're feeling really out of alignment and you're really unsure of whether your partner even really likes you, or whether the guy you're texting with likes you, then that's probably a red flag in and of itself. And maybe take the focus back from, does he like me, and does he want to, and is he that into me, into just, how do I feel? And if you don't feel good, then there's your answer, and that's literally all you need to pay attention to. Do I feel good? Do I feel satisfied? Do I feel happy and safe? yes, then yes. And if no, then no, you know? So anyway, I just feel like that's the energy you guys are stepping into, is like, I'm going to focus on myself and I'm not going to give so much thought to whatever this other person is up to, whatever they're thinking, whatever they're going through, whatever is in their mind, and into more of yourself and your life and the things you love and your interests. And maybe even picking up like a new hobby or a new like sport or a new friend group, or just being more, I think, well-rounded, so that like you're so happy with your life that you don't have time to ruminate about anything that's not making you happy. Let's get into some of these cards. For pile number 1, we want to know what kind of luck pile 1 is going to be having. So we got rest and rejuvenation. Okay, self-care vibes. This one is 6th chakra archangel Metatron, and Metatron is connected to writing. So again, I feel like for some of you guys, this could be like a creative hobby. It could be writing, could be painting, could be taking up cooking or baking, or a sport. Woman holding a heart, healer of the ages, and appreciation. I feel like this is about appreciating yourself as well and not being as dependent on what others think of you. Instead, I feel like you're really pouring energy back into your own cup. I feel like for some of you guys, this could be a move. This could be a transition in terms of where you live and finding, I'm hearing other living arrangements. So if you've been living with roommates, maybe you're living on your own, or if you've been living in an apartment, maybe it's moving into a home. It could be moving, making a big move, like to a different city or a different state or something. I feel like for a lot of you guys, I'm seeing a lot of social activity around you. This is why I said I could see this being a single era. But if you're in a relationship, it could just be you finding some friendships. We did get the friendship card for you guys over here. So yeah, you guys could be, if you're in a relationship and you're like, well, single era wouldn't really work since I'm married or something, then you could be just forming a lot of friends. You could be going out more and prioritizing that, or joining like a women's group or a knitting group or a cooking group or like a hobby group. I feel like this is about really pouring energy into like a hobby or something that you do just for you. So if you love to paint and you kind of haven't done that in a while, or if you love to knit, like I said, or if you love to cook and you haven't really done it for yourself, maybe every time you cook, you're cooking for like your roommate or your partner or whoever, and it's not like that fun creative activity it once was. This could be like carving back out that time and saying like, I'm setting aside Sunday afternoon and I get to cook what I want, and I don't want to hear it about how you don't like, you know, French food, because I want to try to make this really elaborate French recipe. I'm cooking from Julia Child's, you know, cookbook from the 1950s, and I'm doing it, and I don't care what you say. But I really feel like this is like stepping back into your own energy and being shocked at like, oh, I feel so much more energetic. I feel like I have more to give to myself instead of feeling depleted. Because I often think a lot of us, especially women, tend to give to everyone in our life. We tend to be very like there emotionally for other people, but sometimes that doesn't get reciprocated. And it just feels like an energy drown, like you're just putting out energy and putting out energy and putting out energy. And there's almost nothing left, you know, at the end of the day. And I really feel like you're going to put up some barriers and boundaries with that, and be surprised that like actually people really love that. And actually people, not that it matters or you need people to approve of it, but I feel like for you it's kind of counterintuitive, like, oh wow, the more energy I put into myself, the more, you know, energy I get back from other people. So yeah, it's kind of really nice. Let me get into some of these astrology dice for you. Pile number 1. What is pile number 1's luck happening for them? Okay, we got double Cancer. Interesting. So let me spin that one more time. So we got Aries, Cancer, and then we got double Aries. Okay, so I'm just going to read for Cancer and Aries, since this is, I guess, what Spirit wants me to talk about. So yeah, we have the first house, aka Aries, Cancer, 4th house, And then we have Mars, which rules over Aries and kind of rules over Scorpio as well. So, well, it does rule over Scorpio as well, but it co-rules it, and modern rulership is Pluto. But anyway, so Aries, the first house, that's what I was saying. I always associate Aries energy with that Britney Spears song, Selfish. And I always hear it in my mind when I'm tuning into that. And I personally love Aries energy, selfish energy. And I think it's because I have Venus Aries and I also have Jupiter Aries. So I'm a little Aries myself, also third house Aries and other placements, Sun in the first house. So I think I'm pretty Aries myself, actually. I have a lot of Aries friends. And I really think sometimes, again, selfishness, the idea of being self-centered gets such a bad rap, especially in the spiritual community. And we are kind of expected to overgive. But the reality is that, there's a reason why on the plane they say, like, put your oxygen mask on first. And I actually kind of thought that was like, okay, yeah, because like if you don't put on your oxygen mask, eventually you'll run out of oxygen. But I was reading this book and they said that you have approximately 10 seconds to get your oxygen mask. And that's why they constantly drill it into your head. They don't want to freak people out by telling them the exact numbers, but it is 10 seconds before you'll lose consciousness if the plane like depressurizes or whatever. Apparently, whatever happens within the plane, you have 10 seconds. So that's why they say put it on yourself first. I thought it would be like, oh, you have a couple minutes and the oxygen's going to slowly seep out. And, so yeah, it's a good idea, I guess, to put it on yourself first just in case something happens. But no, it's like a you got to get on that fast. And that's why they drill it into you so many times. Because once you have that mask on, you'll be fine, you'll be conscious. And then of course, if you have a child next to you or someone next to you, you can put the mask on them. But if you're both knocked out, then no one has any chance. And that's such a good example of why sometimes we need to be selfish, and sometimes we think we're being so kind by like overextending ourselves, by giving so much to others, by doing so much for everyone around us. But the reality is that when it comes down to it, if we are constantly depleting ourselves, if we are constantly pouring our energy into someone else and never getting any back, or pouring our energy into a work situation and feeling so drained by that, if we aren't having any kind of like flow back to us, if we aren't having any kind of interest that brings us life, or allowing ourselves to rest, or pampering ourselves, or prioritizing ourselves, or having relationships and friendships that truly feel good and aligned, and we feel respected and loved and joyful within those, then we're going to run out of energy. We're going to run out of oxygen, so to speak. And then that's when things will really get bad. And then we won't have any to give to those takers anyway. So everyone suffers. And I feel like for you guys, this is really about you putting yourself first and kind of reaping the rewards. Like, it's funny because, say someone was like in a really beautiful aligned, like say you could compare, like there's two moms. One mom is like really bleeding herself dry for her kids. She's always rushing around helping them. She's kind of like exhausted all the time. She's really burnt out. She never gives anything back to herself. And then you have another mom, and maybe she's really doing hobbies she loves. And every time she sees her kids, she's in a really good mood because she just played tennis and she's so happy to see them. And she also is making good money in her career. So she's happy. So she's aligned. Probably most of us choosing between the two it would be healthier with that second mom. That energy would just flow a lot better. And the more happy she is, the more money she's going to be able to manifest, the better, more present of a parent she's going to be able to be. So sometimes we think like, let me overextend myself, let me give, and we're just depleting and digging that hole deeper. And I really feel like for you guys, one way you're going to get lucky is you're going to make the choice to seize that energy back, to pour it into yourself, and to really put yourself kind of first and put yourself in the priority position. And speaking of moms, we do have that Cancer energy, and Cancer is that really close group of friends, really close inner circle of friends or family members. This could be like prioritizing your home as well, because the Cancer rules the fourth house of home. So again, a move or a major change with your living situation. I feel like for you guys, you also may be having much more energy. Mars gives energy. So Aries is one of the most energetic signs, and I really feel like a lot of you guys are going to again, have more energy physically and make changes to yourself physically. And you may be wanting to go out, meet, socialize. I feel like you're really at a breaking point with something in your life that you have put up with for a really long time that has been draining you, slowly leaching out of your energy and slowly like just frying you out. You are ready to step away from that, and you're ready to step into an energy that feels kind of scary, uncertain. There's nervousness around this. There's kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready, feeling like maybe I should stay in my comfort zone. That's so like Cancer energy, and then the Aries energy is stepping out of your comfort zone because it is literally emerging as new life. That is the youngest sign in the zodiac. It's like a newborn baby that has that courage to leave mom's womb and enter into this world, this crazy world. And you have to be brave enough, like an Aries, to have that boldness. And I feel like that's what you guys are doing. Like, you're ready to leave this kind of safe comfort zone that you have been in for a while and step into your destiny, step into something that I feel like you are going to be really happy about. The changes are going to be hard to make, but I feel like whatever this is, you're going to be so relieved on the other side. So that is what I have for you, pile one. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, so I'd love to know what you think. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to see more of my readings, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your sexiest quality, so that's a fun, spicy 18+ reading. I also posted one all about what you're carrying with you from past lifetimes if you want to get deep spiritually. But there are so many different readings over on Patreon, lots of love readings. There are career readings, there are money readings, there are spirituality readings, personality readings, relocation readings, so many different readings to choose from. So if all that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, oh, you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So they always get posted over there first, early on Patreon. So yeah, if that sounds good and you want to sign up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private one-on-one session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want a half-hour long session or a full hour-long session, whether you want me to pull tarot for you, channel for you, read your astrology, whether you want it to be a pre-recorded session with questions you submit ahead of time, or a live session where we get to go back and forth, you get to really choose which options are right for you and customize your reading to whatever you want to tune into. If all that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link in my description for briarrosetarot.com. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Strength card, the Six of Cups, Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Prince of Cups, aka the Knight of Cups. So what I'm seeing right off the bat with this Prince of Cups, aka Knight of Cups coming in, is some of you guys are going to be meeting someone. I feel like whoever you're meeting, there is a lot of opportunity for romance and also like a reawakening in your life. So whoever this person is, I feel like they're going to almost like bring a spark back to you in some way. Even if you're in a relationship, maybe this person could just be a platonic friend or someone that you really learn from, enjoy hanging out with. But I do feel like this is almost like a karmic connection, or there's some spiritual reason for you guys meeting. And I feel like you're going to hit it off right away and just get along like a house on fire. Like, you guys are just going to have so much in common. The conversation is going to really flow easily. And for those of you guys who are single, I could definitely see this being romantic and really having a fun time getting to know this person and having like a possibly like a fling with them or a long-term relationship. But one thing that I really am getting is like you guys have so much fun together. Like, whoever this is, whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, it feels like you guys just have a blast. The two of you together, it's just such a good time. It's just such a vibe. And I feel like it's almost like when you're together, you guys just could get lost in each other's eyes, or just kind of get lost in conversation and just end up talking for hours. You know what I mean? End up just one of those friends where like you look down at the clock and you're like, oh my God, we've been at this restaurant for like 5 hours just talking and time flew by. So whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, I feel like with this person, and I feel like for probably most of you guys, it is romantic. I feel like there's something about this that's just so much fun, and it does make you, even if it's like something that doesn't work out forever, I feel like it makes you realize how much fun it is to like have fun, to flirt, to talk, to enjoy. It's like it brings this little spark back into your life that I feel like has been missing. So there is a connection, and I feel like whoever this person is, it's like they've been looking for you. They've been waiting for you, is what I'm hearing in my mind. I feel like this person, when they meet you, what's so great is it's so reciprocal. It's not just like on one side. It's not one person who's really feeling the connection and then the other person isn't that into it, or they're like, yeah, they're okay. Like, I guess we can hang out. It's like both sides are so excited. And I feel like you guys are almost like little kids together. Like you guys can have fun, laugh, have a good time. Maybe you have a similar sense of humor, but it's just a really good time. And I feel like there's a like, yeah, and it's funny, as I'm tuning into this energy, it almost feels like two little kids having fun, playing pranks, doing stupid like jokes around the neighborhood, and we got the Six of Cups, which is all about that youthful, childlike energy. So, because I'm thinking of like those friendships you have when you're a little kid and you like go ding dong ditching with your friends, or you have lemonade stands, or you know, do stupid pranks on like someone's siblings, or you make prank phone calls. You know how when you're a kid, you just have all this free time and you just end up almost like in trouble doing stupid stuff. And in retrospect, you're like, that wasn't that funny. But when you're a kid, you think it's freaking hilarious to like trip someone's mom or dad or something. You know, you just laugh for hours about it. I feel like that's like you guys together. Like I could almost burst out laughing now because the energy is just so much fun. And I feel like when you guys are together, it's just like you guys get lost in time. Like you don't, like time just flies by and you guys end up not even like noticing, you know? So I'm also, this is so weird, I just saw a pizza in my mind. I don't know if you guys are gonna both love pizza or have pizza together or something, but they just showed me a flash of pizza so strongly. So maybe that means something to someone, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like there's so much in common that you guys just, yeah, you guys just have the same interests. And I really love this. And I feel like what I'm hearing for you as a message about this is like almost like this meeting is about you lightening up, or about your energy lighting up. Like maybe some of you guys can be very heavy energetically. And I think when you're a deep thinker, when you're a deep feeler, you know, it's easy to really get down into, you know, the bad things that happen in life, or the sad things happening in the world, or the pain of certain things, or overthinking or ruminating, or, you know, looking really deeply into things. And that's totally normal and also healthy. But I do feel like for you guys, this is about like a lighter energy. This is about kind of like, let me take the pressure off and realize how fun life can be and how good life can be and how fun it is to laugh. So I feel like the message you're getting is just to not overthink or not take it too serious, because I feel like for some of you guys, it's almost like you always have to have a like reason one, reason two, like you have to have this whole list of purposes, or what's the point, or let me overthink about this, or let me look really deeply into this. And maybe sometimes it's hard for you to take things just at face value and be like, oh yeah, it was a good time, you know? You know how sometimes someone will ask you, and I'm probably more of the kind of person who would ask this because I have Mercury in the first house and I love to overthink. So sometimes, you know, if I ask someone like, oh, how was the movie? And they're just like, oh, it was good. And I'm always like, but what do you mean it was just good? Like, don't you have a reason? What did you think? What was the plot? What was the themes? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to get down into the nitty gritty and like, please explain. And that's so like Virgo Mercury energy. But then that lighter energy of just like, yeah, it was really good. And yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it was fun. And like kind of just leaving it at that and not overthinking is the vibe I'm getting, you know? And I feel like that's actually really good for you, because maybe you guys do have a tendency to overthink or to really like ruminate or just kind of like spiral about certain things. And I feel like this is about taking your energy into that really calm, relaxed, peaceful place, and also maybe putting you outside of your comfort zone. By the way, the person I am seeing a lot of you guys meeting, they keep showing me dark hair, and they've shown me that a few times. So I'm not saying it's a general reading. It could be a blonde, but I am seeing dark hair for a lot of you guys. They wanted me to mention that. But I do feel like there's something about this that is teaching you like to kind of go outside your boundaries a little bit, or maybe you have certain like rules for yourself, or certain things that you always do, or certain like rules you tell yourself, like, oh, well, you know, I would never do this. Like maybe you're the type who's like, well, I never drink on a weeknight. And this is one of those friends that's gonna like convince you when you go out to get tacos with them to have a couple margaritas. Or this is like a relationship that you're in romantically where you might have said, you know, oh, well, I would never like I don't know, go on a road trip last minute. Like I need to have everything planned and I'm very type A and I need to have all the details. I don't want to do a random road trip last minute. And this person like convinces you to go on a road trip and you find that actually was so much fun and you loved the fact that you didn't know where you were going to sleep that night. And even though you usually thought you always had to have an itinerary and research all the like restaurants before and read the Yelp reviews, and now you're like, you know, it was so fun when we just wandered into that random roadside diner and that was actually some of the best pancakes in my life that I've ever eaten. You know what I mean? And it's almost like about you learning to trust the universe more. So I feel like whatever this relationship is that you're going to have luck in, it's really teaching you to like open up your energy and kind of like throw open that door and not be so rigid and not be so like stuck in your old ways, you know? So whatever happens with this, whether it's like meant to be forever, whether it's meant to be short term, I feel like that's the good that you're going to take out of it, is just learning to kind of relax and learning to kind of let go and not be so harsh or not be so kind of myopic about things, and also learning like your own strength and resilience. Like I feel like part of this is also like somehow bringing your confidence back. And sometimes I do think doing those kind of Sagittarius things, and Sagittarius opposes Gemini on the astrological wheel. So Gemini being more of a Mercury energy, well, it is ruled by Mercury, and then Sagittarius is Jupiter, and it's kind of that trust in the universe. And I think that's what we learn. That's why Sagittarius and the ninth house is one of the deepest spiritual growth houses and signs and planets, is because it's all about having that trust and faith in the universe. And what could be more trusting than like traveling, which the ninth house rules, and like that feeling of like getting on a plane and you've never been to that country and you don't speak the language and you don't know what's going to happen and you have no idea if the hotel is going to be nice or if it's going to be, you know, they could scam you, like you never know, and you're still going to do it because you have faith in yourself and you have faith in the universe that whatever is happening is going to be okay. And I feel like for you guys, this is kind of about, of course, be safe. I'm not saying go to a really dangerous part of the world and then just like, woohoo, like don't pay attention to anything and just be footloose and fancy free. Of course, be aware and smart. But I feel like for you guys, this is about realizing that you've got this and realizing your own strength, realizing your own power, like realizing that you guys can handle yourself and that some of the maybe things you have put on yourself or the things you thought you had to do, like I said, I think sometimes we tell ourselves certain things like, well, I just always need to research the restaurant before I go. But maybe that's coming from a place of anxiety and lack of trust. And maybe you could find that when you just go to the restaurant and you kind of trust and you try the food, that it's probably not going to be that bad if you have to decide on your entree in 3 minutes instead of researching it 5 days before. You know what I mean? Some of those things we tell ourselves, like, I'm just the kind of person who blah, 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 whatever it is, needs to sleep in my own room and my own bed, and I need to have my aromatherapy oils going off, and I need to blah, 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 you know, listen to like a meditation before I sleep. And I need to do my face mask before I sleep. And that can be fine and good for you if, you know, you enjoy doing that. But also it's so much more empowering to realize, yeah, I don't need that. Like I can sleep whenever and I have that calm place that I'm coming from. So I feel like a lot of you guys are going into a place of letting go of anxiety, letting go of like little rules you've made for yourself and really trusting the process and trusting yourself that like no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. This could even be you being much less careful with your social media with the 6 of Wands coming out. Some of you guys may find that you're much more okay with posting certain things that maybe in the past you would be really careful with your social media, or you would worry or stress out about like, oh, I don't know if I should put that on my stories or whatever. And now you find yourself being like, you know what, I'm going to post what I want and I don't really care what anyone thinks about it. So I feel like either way, there's this boldness coming in about how you move through this world. So I'm going to pull these cards away and then we're going to get some more cards for you guys. Yeah, I feel like this is like a very exciting transition and change within your energy field. So what cards can we get for pile number 2 about luck coming their way. So we just got peace, truth, strength, double strength card. Some of you guys might even be like hitting the gym or making changes to your physical body to become stronger. Transformation, good luck, and psychic abilities. I feel like part of this is like learning to trust yourself. Again, I think so much of the time, like when we are overthinking a situation, it's really that Mercury energy. And please, I hope no Geminis or Virgos think I'm hating on Mercury energy. I have Mercury in the first house, so I'm very mercurial myself. But I find a lot of times when I'm relying too much on my Mercury, that's when I go into like a thought spiral of overthinking. And whenever I can kind of come back to my Pisces self, Neptunian energy and psychic intuition and rely on that, at least for me, there's such a sense of calm and peace and relaxation when I'm able to realize that my intuition knows everything. So even because we've all heard those stories about like someone did so much research and they looked into it and they read all these reviews and they get scammed, or they get, maybe they researched like a certain thing before they went and then they still had a horrible experience. And I think that's something that happens all the time. Like whenever we try to just get a million pieces of data, whenever we try to research, overthink, we're really relying on Mercury and that kind of logical mind. But the reality is we all have access to something that's so much more powerful. We all have access to our intuition. All of us are intuitive creatures. All of us have experienced things where like we got a bad feeling before something and then it happened, right? Or we were really nervous, or we just thought someone was weird and then they ended up scamming us. And maybe technically they didn't do anything wrong. Maybe technically they were perfectly nice to us. But we just always felt weird about them. And we relied too much on that Mercury, that thinking it over rationally, that's making a pros and cons list and being like, well, technically they haven't done anything. Technically they're actions. And that's looking at things on a very like logical mind level. And again, we have something so much more powerful, which is our intuition. And I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be using and learning to trust your intuition. And I think that's what's really empowering about stepping into your intuition, is it takes you away from worrying all the time. Because when you have that powerful inner compass that will tell you yes or no about a certain situation, then that's so much more reliable. And the thing is I find with my intuition is it's often quiet until it needs to speak to me. I think sometimes people think intuition is going to be just a constant noise in your head, like telling you the exact details about every situation, like not just saying, no, don't date that guy, but being like, no, because he's toxic and blah, 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 and he has daddy issues and mommy issues and he's blah, blah, blah. No, but usually it just comes through as like a, no, a bad feeling. Like, this guy's stressing me out. I don't know. I don't feel good about it. That is intuition. And we constantly try to like transition our intuition into that Mercury energy. And that's the thing, is the intuitive energies often oppose those, Mercury energies on the astrological wheel. Pisces and Sag, which are very spiritual, oppose Mercury. So when we're being intuitive, a lot of times it's not going to come out with a logical list in like language. It's not going to come out in terms of like a million words describing it in detail and facts and figures and data and pros and cons. It's actually just going to feel like, yeah, that feels good, or yeah, that feels bad, or no, that feels bad. And I feel like so much of the time we as humans, we want like a million pieces of information. We want to study it and go over it and like try to understand and like, let me do a little spiel in my mind and like, let me look at it under this microscope and let me overthink. And what's actually so relaxing is all you need to do is listen to that feeling inside of you that says yes or no, that says yes, he's into you, or no, he's not into you. And your intuition knows better than anything. Like that's what sometimes frustrates me. I feel like with online, there's so much online dating content that will be like, oh, how do you know a girl is into you if she does this, and this? Or how do you know a guy isn't into you if he does blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, like a guy could do all those things that they say is the perfect thing for him to be into you, and he might not even love you that much. Guys can be like literally married and still cheat, right? Women can say that they, are totally in love and blah, 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 and they can cheat. The thing is that at the end of the day, it's not a list of like factors or things outside of yourself. It's a feeling you have inside. It's a feeling of knowing you feel that love or you don't. And by the same token, I feel like with everything in life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a feeling, we have that intuitive sense that I should do this or I shouldn't. And I feel like you guys are stepping more and more and more into relying on that, and you are becoming a powerhouse, spiritually speaking. You're moving away from that self-doubt. You're moving away from that person who would question or get a lot of anxious, like trying to figure out every detail, and you're moving much more into like a bold, unafraid energy of just going with what feels good to you, saying yes or saying no. And also the ultimate thing that comes is also there's a reason why Pisces and Sag are stereotyped as being very unbothered and being very like too chill, like too relaxed, like too optimistic. And there's a lot of truth to that because they are overly optimistic, but that's because they're both ruled by Jupiter, to a very spiritual planet. And Pisces also ruled by Neptune. And so they have this deep sense of trust in the universe that is actually completely accurate, because the highest spiritual truth is that everything that is happening to you is happening for your greatest and highest good. And yes, I do mean everything, because keep in mind, we come to this planet for different spiritual experiences, not all of them good. So even a horrible experience that may seem horrible on the outside may be something we signed up for on the other side, because it's teaching us the deepest spiritual growth. It's not to justify negative actions against us or to say that, oh, it's no big deal that something happened to you. But when you realize you are an undefeatable soul that is so powerful, nothing can touch it and nothing can change it and nothing could ever destroy it, you'll stop sweating the small stuff. You'll stop sweating the small little like upsetting whatever or irritating or like small setback, and you'll have faith in the ultimate flow of the universe, the ultimate trajectory you're on, which is towards empowerment and growth and self-actualization of your soul. So I feel like for you guys, maybe you've been doing shadow work. Maybe you guys have been really meditating. Maybe you've been pulling tarot for yourself. I don't know. I feel like your spiritual intuition is just getting so strong. And a lot of you guys are really learning to trust that more and more and more on such a deeper level than you ever did before. And it feels like now that you are listening to your inner voice, it's almost like nothing could even touch you. Let me get into some more cards for you. Pile number 2. What is pile number 2's good luck that is coming their way? Goddess of the Moon. I'm telling you, you guys, you are getting to be so intuitive. Honestly, your intuition is just amazing at this point. Like, nothing could stop it. Goddess of the Moon. Obviously, the moon is a highly psychic planet and rules over Cancer, a highly psychic sign. We got broken heart. Envy. Okay. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Oh, and that's like what you feel in your gut. So again, gut feelings, intuitions, the thinking man and man holding a heart. So I feel like there's also like this fresh flow of energy in your life for those of you guys who have been single for a while. Like maybe you have been in hermit mode, or maybe you haven't wanted to date. Maybe you have been like, I'm just going to be by myself and whatever. And I feel like it's like, there's almost a knowledge that like time is limited or time is short, and kind of like I want to live my life to the fullest, and I don't want to waste any time anymore. I don't want to put my life on pause or worry about anyone else or overthink anymore. I feel like you're much more like present physically in your body, and much more realizing that like time is a finite resource, right? And we're not always going to be young forever, or we're never going to be at this point in our life again. So we may as well make the most of it. We may as well have as much fun as possible. So if we're constantly sitting back in hermit mode, trying to change and grow, yes, that's amazing. And it's great to go into hermit periods where we really learn and we self-actualize, but also life is meant to be lived very physically. That's why we come to Earth, and Earth signs are all about that physical sensation. I always think of Taurus as like, I know it's, you know, a fixed sign, but for me, I feel like Taurus is the most intense energy of Earth. Like it's the epitome of Earth energy, and that is all about physical sensations and kind of like indulgence and kind of course it's ruled by Venus, so it's about literally what feels good to us, what we love, what is indulgent and kind of sensual. And by sensual, I mean the five senses, like touch, taste, smell, all those things are very Taurian. And we are put on this planet to experience those things. We're put on this planet to taste delicious food, to experience love, to feel someone else's touch, to smell delicious things. We were given these senses for a reason. So look at a beautiful sunset. This is why we get sent to like Earth and not other planets, and that's where we come as souls, because it's kind of like, how like really nice boarding schools or like really expensive colleges are like, usually they have a beautiful campus with like old stone ivy covered buildings and like statues and fountains and stuff. That's kind of like Earth. Like we were given this completely gorgeous planet that's so unique in the entire solar system because we were meant to have and experience all this beauty, and we were given these bodies to experience the fun of being in them, to experience delicious tastes and smells and sensations, physical sensations of all kinds. And so I feel like you guys are kind of giving yourself permission to do that. Like you're stepping away from this overly intellectual vibe that maybe some of you guys have been in for a while, where maybe you tend to overthink or over intellectualize situations or be very outside of your body and be very like in your head a lot. And I feel like you're coming to a place that's much more feeling and trusting and just living in the moment and not allowing your fears or your anxieties to run the show as much. And instead, you're just going to kind of go with the flow and trust that whatever happens is happening for you, not to you, not against you. Yeah. So I feel like you're allowing yourself to have these like sensations and experiences that some of you guys have never allowed yourself to experience before. And I feel like this is a huge part of your self-actualization, because a lot of you guys have a history of prioritizing others over you, or not fully stepping into energies that maybe you felt tempted for and you were like, yeah, that looks really cool, but no, I could never. It's kind of like that feeling that when someone like really wants some chocolate or something, or they really want a potato chip, but they're like on a diet or they're doing a fast or something, and they're like, no, I couldn't. You can just see that tension. And I feel like you're getting to that point where you're like, I want the chocolate. I want the potato chip. I'm ready. Like, I want to experience all of this. So actually, it's a really exciting, beautiful time for you guys. So let's get some astro dice for you guys. Let's see what signs we're going to get. So we got, Saturn in Earth sign. So we have double Capricorn, double Earth. So we'll definitely get into Capricorn. Again, that Earth energy, and Earth is all about physical sensations and being on this planet. It literally rules this planet. It rules Earth. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Let me spin this one more time, since I generally like to spin doubles. Again, 5th house, Leo. Okay, perfect. So we have Aquarius, we have Leo, and we have Capricorn represented. So let's start out with the 5th house. That's perfect, because the 5th house is all about indulgences and fun, creative hobbies, and just things that bring us joy. The 5th house is also a house of romance, and often kind of like shorter term romances, or not necessarily just short term, like as in, just a fling that lasts a couple days, but maybe not necessarily the person you marry, but it could be someone you marry. It definitely could be, especially if you have like 5th house synastry. That can be such a fun relationship. But the 5th house is the house of all the things we love. It's a very exciting house. It's ruled by Leo, planet up, which is a sign of exciting things and kind of glowing up and being in your most empowered energy and doing the things you really love. And again, prioritizing the self, because Leo is about the self. And that's why sometimes they get stereotyped as being a little self-centered and selfish. But really, I feel like Leo just understands that ultimately we are individual souls put on this planet to have our own individual experience. And that's what Leo is doing. So I feel like for you, this is kind of about accumulating experiences, doing the things you love, finding things that bring you that happiness, that giddy, exciting feeling that we see in the 5th house. 5th house is also a house of children. So again, with that 6 of Cups energy that we got right off the top, this is about possibly you meeting someone that kind of makes you feel like a little kid again. I'm hearing that line from Taylor Swift that's like, and you throw your head back laughing like a little kid. So again, there's almost this childlike, fun, trusting, exciting energy that I feel like a lot of you guys are experiencing through this relationship. relationship. Like there's something about this new relationship that wants to come in that I feel like just gives you this new lease on life and kind of brings you back to that little kid vibe, or like a childhood crush vibe or summer fling vibe. Like it just feels like so exciting. Then we also have Saturn, and of course Saturn is a difficult planet that can teach us hard lessons. It rules over Capricorn and the 10th house of public honors as well as work and career. So I feel like for a lot of you guys with this Capricorn energy, this is something you've maybe been dealing with for a while. Maybe it's kind of felt like Saturn has been breathing down your neck. Maybe some of you guys have been having major Saturn transits, like Saturn over your sun. If you're a Pisces, Saturn has been definitely around your sun, or Saturn in the first house. Or yeah, that could be Pisces ascendants as well, or a Saturn return. So if you have a Pisces Saturn, but either way, if you guys have been dealing with like a heavy Saturn aspecting something, Saturn opposing or squaring or anything like that, for some of you guys, this energy has been around you for a while and it's kind of been kicking your butt. A lot of you guys may have been feeling like life was just so hard and life was teaching you all these lessons. And I feel like now you're ready to reap these rewards, because this is the thing about Saturn. It is the hardest teacher, but it confers the greatest rewards. So for a lot of you guys, this is your time of blessings. This is your time of leaving all the pain and all the hardship and all the difficulty and the tough lessons that you guys have had to deal with, and time to alchemize those lessons and bring it into your best new beautiful reality. So actually Saturn is ready to pay off, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, the energy is about to get a lot lighter. And then we have Aquarius, and Aquarius is the planet of doing things differently and not being afraid to stick out of the crowd. It also rules over the 11th house of large friend groups, acquaintances, lots of different people. So I feel like also hopes and wishes coming true. So the 11th house is a really positive house. I feel like some of you guys could be going out with friends more, or if you have been in hermit mode, this may be stepping away from that a little bit. Although I'm not sensing the vibe that you guys are maybe fully ready. Some of you guys are still ready to be in hermit mode a little bit more, but I feel like you're starting to worry less about what other people think about you, and you're starting to be okay with being more of an individual. Like you're starting to feel less concerned with what others are going to say or what they're going to think or whether they're going to agree with you, and you're just kind of doing your own thing. So I feel like that's another way that your luck happens, because you know, fortune favors the bold. Fortune, aka luck, is going to definitely favor the people that go after it and do what they want. So it's like, if you want to be dating, get on the dating apps or go out to bars and start flirting. You know, if you want to have something happen in your career, apply for it, go for it, make it happen. You get to choose what happens in your life, and you are the master of your destiny and your fate. And I feel like you guys are really taking on that empowered energy. We got the Strength card twice. So if in the past you have really been kind of hiding in the shadows or waiting around, waiting for something to happen, that energy feels like it is really leaving for you, and you are fully stepping into this beautiful new empowered energy. So yeah, that is what I have for you. Pile number 2. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, so I would love to know what you think. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your sexiest quality, so that is a fun, spicy little 18+ reading. And before that, I posted one all about I just posted one about what you're carrying from past lifetimes. That one actually is even more recent, but there's so many readings. I posted a bunch of love readings. There's also career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, relocation readings, personality readings, all different kinds of readings. So over 85 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon. Also, I do post all my YouTube videos over there first before you guys get to see them over here. They have been posted up for a while on Patreon. So if you're interested in all of that and you want to sign up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can book a private slot with me, whether you want it to be half hour, full hour, pre-recorded, or live, whether you want to have me channel for you, pull tarot, read your astrology, do a little combination. You get to really choose how your session goes. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link in my description for briarrosetarot.com. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile three, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Two of Swords, Four of Wands, Princess of Swords, aka the Page of Swords, Four of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Sun card. So right off the bat, I am hearing for some of you guys, if you have been trying to have a baby, this could be good luck around a child, especially this Sun card is really sticking out to me with that. So it could be good luck with having kids, or if you already have kids, good luck around your children, like them accomplishing or achieving something, or, you know, getting into the college they want, or doing really well at school, or whatever the case may be. I feel like there may be really good luck for you around some kind of child in your life, either a pregnancy if you want one, or children that already exist. Anyway, for whoever that is for, hopefully it resonates. And for those of you guys who don't have kids and are like, oh, I really don't want to get pregnant, this could also be like some kind of creative project happening, or some kind of, I feel like it's almost like you're getting the recognition that you guys have wanted for a really long time. Like you're being celebrated. Like I feel like some of you guys in this pile, you've gone unnoticed for the longest time, or people have taken you for granted. And it's almost like this is your moment to shine. This could even be like physically, you're looking really good and just attracting a lot more attention, because I am really feeling like it's like all eyes on you. Like, make way. It's almost like I'm seeing a red carpet being rolled out, you know, in the way like you'll see footage of like someone getting ready for like the Met Gala, and like there's a bunch of paparazzi and people waiting, and it's like this crazy scene, and then oh my god, she's here, and like the celebrity arrives and everyone's going crazy. Like I almost feel like that's the vibe for you. It's like some kind of recognition for work that you've been doing for a really long time finally getting paid off, and finally getting to see that like realization of everything you guys have done. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I'm also hearing for some of you guys, this is good luck in regards to a big decision you wanted to make. We did get the Two of Swords, so there may be something that for the longest time you've been indecisive about, you've been going back and forth about, you've maybe wanted to get some clarity, but maybe it's been hard to obtain, maybe it's been elusive, or you haven't been sure. And I feel like it's almost like the path is going to be made clear. The path is going to emerge for you, and you're going to fully understand exactly what you have to do. I also feel like for some of you guys, this could be getting in touch with someone that you haven't spoken to for a really long time. So I'm hearing someone from your past coming back and wanting to speak to you. And I feel like in this way, whether you choose to engage with them in conversation or not, because I am hearing some of you guys will just be like, no, I do not want to talk to this person. You might even be dreading it when I say, oh, someone's going to get back in touch with you. You're like, oh, immediately, no, I don't want them coming through in this reading. But I do feel like whatever comes of this, there's a sense of closure. So even if you're like, I don't want to talk to them, maybe it's just nice to know, like, okay, yeah, I appreciate the fact that at least this person is missing me, because they did treat me like complete garbage. So I'm really glad to know that they kind of regret that decision and they keep thinking of me, even if you're like, I don't want to engage with them and I'm not interested in any kind of conversation with them. Totally fine to have your boundaries and everything. But I feel like there's a sense of closure and kind of peace around knowing that, you know, that they are reaching out to you. Like there's something about that is meaningful and kind of does something for you. So for some of you guys, you may choose to actually engage with this person. I'm almost hearing for some of you guys, this could even be like going back to something that you've left, like a job you left, but you go back to it, or like you moved away from like a town and you were like, oh, I'm never coming back. And then you decide like, I really miss that place and I'm ready to go back. If there's anything like that you have been thinking about, ruminating about, like, oh, I really kind of want to move back to blah, blah, blah apartment complex, but you know, that's in the past, maybe I should move on. That could be something that happens for you, because it feels like there's a past energy coming back into your life, but it doesn't feel like a bad thing. It doesn't feel like you're, you know, frustrated by it, or you are ready for a change and you're annoyed. Like, why is this coming into my life? I feel like you feel very kind of like okay with it and also happy about it. Like, I feel like whatever you get out of it, there's a sense of closure, there's a sense of calm, there's a sense of like I'm glad this was settled, you know? And I feel like that allows you also to move more into the future for yourself. Like whatever you are taking with you from this into your future, I feel like it really helps. It's like you are taking the good parts and leaving the bad. So this could even just be mental closure around a situation that before you used to really agonize about, you used to really think about. I feel like now you are ready to kind of heal, like fully heal everything. And it's like maybe some vital piece of information might come out about something that has been bothering you and you've been going back and forth, and now you're like, okay, I know what that was, or I'm glad I finally handled it and put it to rest. I feel like whatever it is, this allows you, like I said, to move forward into your future and you're very unencumbered. So I feel like this is something that has almost been like stuck to you for the longest time, like a piece of gum underneath your shoe that you were just tracking around. And now it's like, okay, we're ready to cleanse it. We're ready to get rid of it. And now it's almost like you've been carrying this weight and you're letting it go. And I feel like that really allows you to move into your future in a way that is so much better and so much healthier for you guys. And this could come in the form of information because we have a lot of sword cards coming out, sword suit cards. So someone could give you some information. You could find out something that just allows it to click into place. Like maybe you were really hung up on an ex and then someone tells you like, oh, you know, he was cheating, right? And then that's just the information you needed to like move on. And I'm not saying it's necessarily that. That's just an example, I feel like, of the vibe I'm getting is like some kind of information that comes in that really frees you. So let me get into some of these cards for pile number 3. We want to know about pile 3's good luck that's happening for them in the future. What good luck is happening for them? Forgiveness. Yeah, definitely that is what I was picking up on. And actually, I'm going to clear these tarot cards first. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know if you're going to forgive this person. Maybe it comes to a place where you're just like, you know, I do forgive them because I realize how messed up they were. I feel like for some of you guys, there's like no interest in whatever this situation is, like continuing it. Like it's not like you're trying to move back into this situation and continue it in your life. But I feel like you need to like get this sense of closure, this moving on feeling. And I feel like it really is coming through for you. Almost like that information you needed that just sets you free. So let's get some more cards. What good luck is happening for pile number 3? So we have willpower, freedom. Yes, I keep mentioning this is going to set you free. And I do feel like there's something about this, because what I'm hearing about this is there's something about this that like this had nothing to do with you. And for some of you guys, you've been carrying a lot of guilt around a certain situation that is not yours to carry. Like I feel like so many of you guys, maybe you feel like it was your fault. And there's something that you need to know. There's almost a sense of like guilt or like you owe something to this situation. I don't know what this is, but there's a sense of like I didn't do enough, or I should have done more, or I was not the good one in this situation. And I feel like you kind of beat yourself up about that, and it really keeps you tied to it. It really keeps you unable to move on. And I feel like what is coming through is a sense of, you know, a lot of that had nothing to do with me. And actually, I feel like there's a sense as well, and I'm not trying to turn this into like channeling a person type of reading or whatever this situation is. We are going to be focusing on good luck, so hopefully we'll get some more messages. But I feel like they really want me to deliver this message that for some of you guys, whatever happened like needed to happen, and there was some element of like soul growth, forward momentum that needed to take place. And I feel like you helped this person, or whatever this situation was, either helped you or it helped that person. And there's no need for any bitterness or any regrets or any what ifs, because I feel like things unfolded exactly the way they were supposed to unfold. So I feel like if you need that permission to know that you are kind of like free to go, like you don't need to be upset about it, you don't need to be regretting, you don't need to be looking back on it. I feel like the universe wants to give you that permission. And I feel like some kind of information is going to come out that really allows you to step forward into your future in some way. And kind of let the past be the past and the future be the future. So whatever you choose to do with this, whether you are wanting a reunion with someone, whether you are wanting a second chance, whether you want to talk to them again, or whether you're like, no, 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 I'm done. I don't ever want to see this person again. Whatever happens, I feel like allows you to move forward into your future much better and much easier. I feel like there's also a message for you about some kind of like emotional release. Like some of you guys may be crying, there may be pain, there may be some kind of like purging that needs to happen for you. But I feel like whatever this is afterwards, it's almost like, okay, we fully left it in the past. And I feel like whatever this is, I'm seeing like a major transition. Like I could even see this being an energy of someone graduating college and getting their first job, or moving and leaving one town and moving to another place. I feel like there was a situation, or there are situations that you're currently still tied to, that you have not wanted to leave, or you have felt very stuck to. And I feel like in the future, you're going to be ready to have that detached. It's almost like how, you know, a butterfly or the caterpillar becomes like the caterpillar goes into the little cocoon, right? And it only leaves the cocoon when it's ready. And then once it's ready, it sheds the cocoon, and the cocoon just dries up and like floats away. And that's kind of what I'm seeing for you guys, or how a crab will molt its shell once it's like ready to. And then once that shell is like kind of overgrown and old, and maybe it's a little beat up, that's when it just leaves it behind, and then it drops it on the ocean floor, and that's it. And I feel like that's the energy for you, like becoming lighter, letting go of something in the past and stepping into a brand new energy. I also feel like for you guys, this could be about going out of your comfort zone and maybe like working out more, or doing something very different with your routine. Like I feel like for some of you guys, this is about putting more investment into yourself, and maybe doing something different with your health, or putting more of a focus on your health. I feel like I'm hearing for you, you guys need to start long-term planning, because it's almost like I'm sensing this sense that there's something you're so excited about. There's something that you want really badly, or some kind of a life you really want to manifest, but there's a part of you that still stays very much in the safety zone, and almost like not wanting to leave or disappoint someone. Like there's almost this vibe of, I don't know if you're still attached, or this is this past energy still. I feel like some of you guys are afraid of disappointing those around you, or afraid of upsetting people. Almost like you're keeping yourself trapped in this little cage, and like worrying more, or like really paying more attention to what other people think, prioritizing other people's opinions over your own opinion. And I feel like there's something you've wanted to do for the longest time, and some kind of energy of yourself you want to move into, almost like someone that is dressing really preppy because the whole family dresses preppy, but they really want to dress goth. And I feel like for you, you may have good luck, because you're finally able to have the bravery to step into that. You're finally able to prioritize and put yourself first. And there's a message for you that you don't even need to cut some of these people off. Like some of this is coming from you. Some of you guys, almost like at times, you really give your power away to others. And this may have to do with that closure you're getting from a past relationship, because I am feeling the vibe that there's something that like, okay, so this is I'm trying to stay focused, but they're really bringing this through strongly to say to you guys, it's almost like someone who's in a relationship, and maybe they're getting really upset because they're like, oh, well, this person doesn't text me back, or this person blah blah blah, or I'm so upset because I think my boyfriend is cheating on me. But then you're like, well, why do you think he's cheating on you? And it's like, well, because I don't know, because like I didn't hear from him for 2 hours last Friday. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't mean he's cheating on you. You know what I mean? And some of it is something that if you're going to break up with someone for that, you might have to unpack how much of that was his actions. Because maybe, yeah, he knows you would like more text, and so maybe that is messed up. But also some of it is like your own reaction to it. Like if you are really anxious and you have anxiety over relationships, and you're going to freak out because it's been 2 hours since you got a text, some of that is stuff you're going to have to address. And you keeping yourself stuck by like playing into an old pattern, giving in to negative emotions that aren't really your intuition talking, but is like coming from that place of fear. And I feel like for you guys, this is about you kind of working through that and like throwing open the door, like some kind of a mental thought process that has kept you stuck or has kept you almost like in a victim mode at times, or kind of like assuming the worst and not fully stepping into your mantle of power. And I feel like there's a message that has held you back, or that has really like not allowed you to experience the fullness of life and held you back from certain experiences. And I feel like for you guys, some of the good luck is in the fact that you're no longer going to like allow yourself to play into that. I feel like you're really finding your strength. This could even be taking periods to be single, or to be kind of discovering your own strength again, like no longer prioritizing or giving away your power, because that's what happens when you are dependent on like your boyfriend to text you back, or you're going to have a panic attack. You're totally giving your power away, right? And some of it is finding your own power, so that for that 2 hours when he's not texting you, you've got other things going on and you still are feeling happy and aligned. So I feel like for you guys, some of this is like, how can I find and prioritize myself? How can I stop giving away my power to others? How can I stop allowing my emotions to be affected by someone else's actions? And how can I find my own authority, my own inner voice, and not engage in things that don't even benefit me? Because I'm sure you don't want to get into a fight with your boyfriend because he didn't text you for 2 hours. I'm sure you don't want to break up over something that stupid. So some of it is like, I'm really going to step into my authority and my power and my own inner strength instead of giving that away to other people. I hope this is making sense. I just feel like I really had to channel that some of you guys sometimes allow yourself to like be in an old dysfunctional energy, and you might even make justifications for that. And I feel like that's really going out the window. Like, I feel like you're kind of sick of a certain cycle of behavior, and now you are ready to leave that in the past, and you're ready to really think about your life and what you want, and really strongly stepping forward. So even like there could be dysfunction around finances. Like if you are, have really bad credit score, and you have a lot of credit card debt, and you have to pay it off, but you haven't wanted to, and like you're just kind of like fooling around with it and continuing to like buy like a lot of takeout food with your credit cards. This is maybe choosing to take a hard look at it and be like, this isn't advantaging me. This is not helping me at all. Why am I getting more and more into debt? And actually, I'm probably going to feel so much better once I pay that off. I'm going to feel so relaxed. I'm going to feel so at ease. So let me go ahead and take a hard look at my bills and see where I can cut prices and see how I can make a better use of my funds. I feel like either way, you are taking like a lot of responsibility for yourself. And I feel like that is giving you so much strength and so many new possibilities happening for you. Let's get into some more cards. What good luck is happening for pile number 3? So we got door to value. So this could definitely be a financial glow up, a financial good luck for you. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, woman holding a heart. And in all honesty, I don't know if some of you guys suffer from headaches, but I just got a headache as soon as I tuned into this reading. And truly, I never get headaches. Like I just am not a headache person. But I just started getting a headache as soon as I tuned into this. And I almost feel like this is like your own energy again of that feeling trapped, or like letting anxiety get the worst of you, or not really being in your own power because there's situations you're overthinking or situations that are dysfunctional. And that's why that headache is manifesting. We also got strategy, goddess of the moon, and storm warning, and woman holding a heart. So I feel like for you, this is almost like the energy of stepping into your desires, needs, and wants. I feel like some of you guys definitely prioritize what other people think or what other people want for you, other people's opinions of you, that kind of a thing. And I really feel like that energy has to be put to the side first before you can kind of access this good luck. And I feel like this is something you're going to feel naturally called to do. Like you are not wanting to engage in the same dysfunctional patterns. I feel like for you, you're ready to make some kind of a major change. You're ready to leave something majorly behind. I feel like you're also ready for, like I said, more attention on you. You're ready for people to kind of like defer to your authority in a way that I feel like they haven't before. If in the past you always felt like you kind of were okay being in the shadows, or you kind of didn't want to like ask for things in your relationships, or you didn't want to ask for things with your career. I feel like you're getting better at speaking up as well. And I feel like you're becoming more like accepting of the fact that life isn't always perfect. And I feel like that actually allows you to speak up more and have better standards. Because I think sometimes when we get into the pattern of trying to have almost like magical thinking about things, like thinking, oh, that's going to magically resolve itself. My bills will just magically pay themselves. My credit card bill will somehow magically get taken care of. Or my relationship with my partner, where we keep arguing, he's just going to magically act different. And I'm really frustrated with him, but magically somehow that's just going to work out. I feel like you are getting into that era of like responsibility, like saying, okay, what could I actually do to fix this relationship? Or what could I do to advocate for myself more? Maybe you got in the habit of really stuffing your needs down, or being like, no, that's fine, when you know something isn't okay. Or at work, if someone asks you to do something that's like way outside of your job, being like, oh yeah, I could do that. And now you're more in that energy of saying like, that's not in my job, and I actually already have a lot on my plate, so I can't do that. I feel like there's some energy about the more realistic you can be and the less just expecting it to magically somehow work out. I feel like the better off you're going to be. And the more you step into that mantle of responsibility and ownership of your experiences and your emotions and your life, the more you're going to be able to take an accurate view of exactly what you want. Sometimes we just feel unhappy with the situation, but we don't even know what is off about it. We don't even know what we would want or how the situation could get better. And sometimes that's step one, is like kind of figuring out like, what about this situation is upsetting me? And is it coming from a place of genuine anxiety, or from anxiety and from me being in my head, or just me being emotional? Or is there something off with this? And we really have to, like, once we get into that, once we start thinking about it and thinking about, well, what do I want out of it? What do I want out of this person, situation, place, whatever? That's when we can come to a place of really figuring out how we can fix it, or how we can address it, how we can ask our partner to fix it, or what we could have them do different. Or are we actually, it's not even their actions that are triggering us, it's something else going on. So I don't know what this is, but I feel like for you guys, whether it's work, whether it's career, whether it's love, I feel like you are really maturing, and you are learning that you have every right to ask for certain things in your life, and you have every right to expect certain behaviors, and also to almost have more boundaries, rules for yourself. I feel like in the past, sometimes you would just kind of like melt into a situation and not really handle it, and not really address things that maybe were off. And I feel like now you're getting much more authoritative and willing to say when something bothers you, and willing to speak up, and willing to be honest. And I feel like once you do that, that's when you're going to see the good luck start pouring in for you. I feel like you kind of need to trust yourself and be in that place where you can trust yourself first. So let's get into some astrology dice for you, pile number 3. So we got the first house, Aries, Cancer, and then we also have Gemini. So the first house, aka Aries, I always associate the song Aries, the astrological element Aries, with the song Selfish by Britney Spears. And I feel like, that is what makes Aries such a fun energy, and why the sun is exalted in Aries is because Aries is really going to think about this themselves. And I feel like for some of you guys, this is about less prioritization of others' opinions or what other people want from you, less even worrying about what other people want. I mentioned this in another pile, but this is what sometimes annoys me about the phrase, like, if he wanted to, he would, or what is the other one? He's just not that into you. Because I think it really takes the onus off you and your experiences, and tries to put it into some kind of guessing game over, what is this person thinking? Are they that into me? It almost makes it a prize of like, oh, they're not that into me. Maybe they'd be more into me if I blah, blah, blah. And I feel like for you guys, this is about thinking about, this is what I want, and this is what makes me feel good. And I'm not going to worry so much about what other people need from me. And I'm going to get better at voicing my needs, my wants, my desires. If you've been in a relationship, or you are in a relationship, this could be about carving out more time for your own interests. Like, if you want to do morning yoga, but your partner really likes to sleep in, this could maybe be about being like, sorry, babe, but I'm gonna set that alarm for 6 a.m. and I'm going to do sunrise yoga at the beach. You know, that's my favorite thing. And so I'm doing it again. And I know you like to cuddle with me and you like to have a lazy morning, but that's just not for me. I feel like this is almost like coming back to yourself, or maybe you're single, but you have parents and they really, really, really want you to go to law school and be a lawyer, but you don't want to do that. And you really hate being in school and you're ready to be done and you want to do something else. Maybe this is about telling them like, I'm not going to be a lawyer, or I'm not going to live in this small town and I want to move to this city, blah, blah, blah. I feel like for you, this is really about, again, prioritizing yourself and finding your authority and realizing that it's your life. So you're the one responsible at the end of the day. And sometimes we think, well, I'm going to be really nice and I'm going to put this person up first before me, or I'm going to kind of put my needs in the second tier. I'm not going to prioritize what I want. I'm going to try to make this person happy, be it family members, be it friends, be it partners. And what it comes down to is it is your life. You are an individual soul. The sun is exalted in Aries. So it's really up to all of us to figure out what is going to work for us and what can we, what we're okay with in relationships and compromises we're willing to make. But first and foremost, making sure that for those major needs we have for ourselves, to be excited about life, to feel self-actualized, to go after our desires, that we're really taking active steps to do that and to put ourselves first. So if we want to go back to school, that we do that. If we don't want to go back to school, but someone's trying to convince us to, we don't do that. If our partner really likes to eat a certain type of food, but we hate that food and we can't stand eating it, learning to say no, learning to say you can have what you want and I'm going to make something separate for myself and you can make your own meal. You know what I mean? But I feel like for you guys, this is really about taking that first step and kind of figuring out what you want and also being willing to voice it. Then we have the moon, and the moon rules over Cancer, which is the 4th house of home. Again, I do see a move for some of you guys, like a physical move. Changing where you live or moving out of, I feel like this is like moving out of a stagnant energy. To be honest, I really don't like the energy that's currently around you guys. Like I feel like you just feel almost very scared or trapped or very like stuck. And I feel like this is what needs to budge. And they're saying that you are the one who can budge this energy, but it's going to be about, again, you stepping into your authority. And it's going to be about you learning to put your foot down and also learning to advocate for yourself and voice your needs and your desires. Because some of this is, to be honest, things that you have done where you haven't been willing to speak up. You haven't been willing to say what you need. You have been sometimes focusing more on others and what makes them happy than your own needs and desires. And this is about voicing what you want. We have Gemini over here as well. Gemini is all about speaking up, communication, saying what you need, saying what you want. And I feel like that's what a lot of you guys are going to do. You're going to be better about using your voice and also processing things. I think sometimes we can get very emotionally reactive. With the moon, it can talk about really strong emotions. And sometimes we can learn we don't have to always be in that place of emotions. We can kind of think it through rationally and try to like stop any fear, anxiety, past traumas from running the show, and instead go into a place of calmness, peace, and processing what things are happening and really mentally thinking it through instead of just rushing to like, oh, I feel this way, so it must be bad. Or I feel this way, so it must be good. So it's almost like I feel anxious and upset with my boyfriend. Well, did he actually do anything? Or are you just upset because you had an ex who cheated on you and now you think everyone's cheating on you? You know what I mean? And you want to make sure that that's how you're running your life. You're thinking of things clearly and you're not allowing craziness to kind of fog your perspective. So I feel like once all of this, I feel like a lot of you guys, this is like heavy shadow work, and the good luck is what's going to happen after the shadow work is completed. The good luck is I feel like a lot of you guys are stepping into your authority and you're willing to kind of take on these bad habits, these old patterns in a way that I feel like you just weren't ready for before. It's like now we're going to work through this. We're going to finally tackle this. And I actually think you're going to be amazed at what happens after you're willing to really stare this down, look at it square in the eye, and really just take a look at it. I feel like you're doing some like final purging. Some of you guys may have like a lot of Capricorn because Pluto's transiting back into Capricorn, and then it's going to finally move back into Aquarius. But maybe some of you guys have placements in like the final degrees of Capricorn or something. like that, you know, the other cardinal signs as well. But I feel like it's like you are really releasing whatever this is, whatever stuck energy this is, you are finally getting rid of it for good, and you're going to be so amazed afterwards, like, wow, I'm so glad. I can't believe I was carrying that around. So this is actually a really good positive thing, even though I know sometimes you're like, oh, this didn't seem super lucky. But trust me, the shadow work will pay off better than anything else, and it's actually the luckiest thing you could go through. So I hope that resonated, guys. If it did, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, hearing your thoughts, stories, reactions. So let me know what you think. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about your sexiest quality. So that one's kind of fun, spicy, a little juicy 18+ reading. Then we also have what you're carrying with you from past lifetimes. So that's a really deep spiritual one. But there are so many readings, over 85 exclusive readings over on Patreon. You get love readings, you get career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, personality readings, relocation readings. There's so many topics. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So they always get posted over there first, pretty early, way before they get posted on YouTube. So yeah, if all that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, whether you want a half-hour session or a full hour-long session, whether you want me to pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, do a combination, whether you want it to be pre-recorded, send me those questions in advance, or do a live one-on-one session with lots of back and forth. You have so many options to choose from, and you really get to personalize the reading that's right for you. So if you're interested in booking a slot with me, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.